Okay, test, test, test. Good evening, Manhattan, New York City, the world, the universe, and beyond. My name is Kirk Kerber. Don't Let the Wire Show. I was just outside and it's raining. What's the spiritual update? We got 2 minutes to go till we go live. Take that yoga breath and release. Oh, my name is Sean Keegan Alexander Kerber. Kirk Kerber at your service. What are we going to talk about? Haunted planet, strange planet, dirty ghosts, okay? These dirty ghosts are everywhere. It's a planet full of magic, miracles, and horrific inconsistencies and unbelievable paradigms that need to be smashed forever and ever. Shakti Namaste. When people say, hey, Keegan, what do you do? I'm like, I'm your magic man. I make miracles. And let them look at me and say, he's crazy. But the fact of the matter is, if you need a miracle, I make the miracle. Shakti Namaste. Don't ask me and don't take my word for it, but take my clients. I'm somewhere in between a priest and a psychotherapist, psychologist, and I am like that person in the middle. The people that don't want to go to the priest and the people that don't want to be diagnosed and they just really want to be seen and heard and have their pain dispelled, they come to me. So, bang a gong, get it on, and we're live. Good evening, Manhattan, New York City, the world, the universe, and beyond. My name's Kirk Kerber, Sean Keegan Alexander Kerber, to be exact. And if you want to know more about what I do and why I'm here every mystical, magical, manic, Magic Monday in Studio 4 live from New York City, you just go and check out. Where is it? It's right there. Got to do everything backwards here on planet Earth. On our intro, we were talking about dirty ghosts, haunted planet. The planet's haunted, folks, okay? And the sooner people realize that and start getting rid of some of these dirty ghosts, ghosts of the past, ghosts of the present, the whole planet will be a lot better off. We are under this crucible of our history. And, you know, we might be done with the past, but the past isn't done with us. And people ask me what I do, and I was explaining in the pre-show, you know, there's a priest, and the priest will absolve you and bring you to God. And then there's the psychotherapist, and they will listen to you and hopefully give you intelligent feedback and probably diagnose you with something. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking, you know, what if mental illness isn't real? Like, what if it's just not real? Like, you just look in the mirror. What if it's just human beings and that's just the fucked up shit that they do? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why do you have to, like, you know, I don't know, it's called the DMSR or something, the Doctor Medical for the APA, American Psychiatric Association, and they just sit there and they just go, well, it's called the bipolar, well, it's called schizophrenia, well, it's called manic depression. You know, what if all that stuff wasn't real? What if it's just fucked up human beings doing fucked up shit? Or just cool human beings doing weird shit, creative shit? You know, there's so much that the priest and the psychotherapist cannot explain, and I am one of them. You just can't explain me. You can't explain how a person can be full-blown psychic, spiritual, medium, interdimensional shamanic healer, as well as on planet Earth, on the ground, certified master hypnotist for PTSD relief. You know, I'm the guy that you call. It's called a fixer, really. A general, you know, People that say they're shaman, there's actually real, true shaman. Let me just make sure we're going out live to our... As well as on planet Earth, on the ground, certified master hypnotist. Wait a minute. Something's wrong. You know, I'm the guy that you call. It's called a fixer. I don't know why. Let me see. People that say they're shaman, there's actually... we're trying to get me on the video. We're trying to get me on the camera here. But this is your outgoing. So, I don't know. Should I call my tech guy? There we go. It's called the fixer. I don't know why. Let me see. I just said that whole speech off camera. It's all right. Okay, well, you were looking at a beautiful magic fairy anyway, okay? There you go. You were looking at a beautiful magical fairy. Hi, my name's Keegan Kerber. I'm here because I'm not all there. So what I was saying is, you know, I fix things. I fix people. And I don't... Trying to get me on the video. I don't really see mental illness. Like, what if you don't see it? Like, put a blindfold on and just... Like, it's not real. You don't see it. Mental illness is not real. What if you just say that for like even 2 minutes? What if God really is just everywhere? What if you don't have to go and look for God? Like, where's God? I gotta find God. You know. What if God is just literally in every single breath? Okay, so this reality severs that connection and hands you trauma and a wound and mental illness and constantly says there's something wrong with you, and you know you choose to be here somehow and incarnate, and there we go. Okay, a reality within a reality within another reality within another reality. Shakti Namaste. So I forgot what I was saying. It probably wasn't even important. I do see clients, and yeah, they don't want to be judged by the priest, and psychotherapists are horribly inept, you know. And so I talk to these people. My clients are probably had some deep core trauma and shame. Probably had their head split open, or some childhood disease or illness where they were confined. It's kind of common. A lot of sexual, psychic, and spiritual trauma, and now they're in their 40s and 50s, some in their 30s, and they see my videos and they read my website and they're like, how did you get out of all this? How were you, like, after repetitive trauma? And I do agree with the PTSD, because the symptoms, it's not so much a behavior as it is an explanation. And it's nightmares, actually. And it's being haunted. PTSD is like being haunted. So in my opinion, sane people are haunted. Addicts, active addicts are haunted. And just taking a new lens and a new filter and saying, you know, instead of saying, oh, they're an addict and they're an active alcoholic or they're bipolar, you know, no judgment on any of this, because that's part of the reason why my clients come to me. I've heard everything in 25 years. Everything. There's nothing I haven't heard. Especially sitting in recovery rooms for 3 decades now across different issues and different fellowships. You know, I just don't bat an eye. I actually just listen with compassion. And, you know, I come in and I fix things. I fix things psychically and spiritually. And I look at the client and I see the client as being perfect, whole, and complete. And that is the essence of compassion. And you have to give them unconditional acceptance. You just open that space to just give them unconditional acceptance. And, you know, I think if the marriage and the partnerships were just based on, who knows what love is? The word has been raped 100 million times, but it doesn't really have any real meaning. But unconditional acceptance of another person and their presence is simultaneously beautiful to see, and to just, when I talk to my clients week after week after week, and they actually do get healed, and you can just literally watch them get healed. Their light gets turned back on. We collect their love, their light, their power. We just collect it and we just bring it back to them. You know, for whatever reason, the birth trauma and other traumas, your light just gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and your rage gets more, your confusion gets more compounded, and you're like, I don't even know why the hell I took this trip in the first place. Anyway, so, Shakti Namaste. Here we are, and here I am. And what are we going to do? You guys want to talk about, we have karma up on the big board. Let's see what we got here. We've got celebrity ghost hauntings. We've got the history of magic. We've got history of magic and magicians, and celebrity ghost haunting. You know what? Let's go with the history of magic first. My name is Keegan Kerber, and this is your spiritual update. Shakti Namaste. And why don't we talk about magic? The origins of magic, the origins of alchemy, ancient alchemy, and of magic, and of witchcraft, and of mysticism, all started happening around the same time. Now, everybody traces it back to Egypt. Oh, formal magic and even witchcraft started really in Egypt, in the Egyptian temples, but that would be my guess. Don't believe history, because I don't know. I just think history actually is constantly changing. By the way, I just watched this thing called Undone on Amazon Prime Original, and it's about a woman that is having these interstellar, interdimensional experiences, shamanic experiences, actually. And I highly, highly recommend it. To Keegan Kerber, thumbs up. But let's get you some cool video, and let's watch this.
Magic is as old as time itself.
Magic is old. All right, let's watch this.
Century BC, amulets, crystals, and other relics were used to perform acts of magic. At its origin, magic was used for good, and nearly every village had a wizard as their magic keeper. Things changed in 26th century BC, when the new Egyptian pharaoh Khufu used his powers to erect the Great Pyramids. Noticing his hasty rise to power, others quickly followed suit until every civilization was ruled by magic. The most powerful of these ancient wizards was Sargon the Great of Akkad. As the ancient tale goes, Sargon transcended mortality by blessing his own body with magic. In late 22nd century BC, he mysteriously fell ill, cursed with a magic annihilation virus. Legend has it that the first magic wand was originated from Sargon's dead body, and the only creature powerful enough to handle such a deadly weapon was his executioner, the Dark Lord. While most creatures bowed before his powers, one rogue orc would be immortalized for standing against the forces of darkness. Jirak founded the Shield of Light, a shadowy resistance army in 2139 BC. In 2109, Jirak and the Dark Lord finally faced each other in the war for every soul. History forever changed as an orc grasped the wand with his bare hands, surviving and finally wielding it to defeat the Dark Lord. Jirak was hailed as the first Bright, a being who was able to handle the world's most powerful weapon, the magic wand. By the 18th century, global leaders joined hands to officially outlaw magic and enacted strict punishment for those found practicing. From Stonehenge to the Taj Mahal, suspicions of the use of magic ran rampant for centuries. When nuclear bombs were suspected of being created with a wand in 1945, the Magic Task Force was created to monitor global magic practices. Few wands exist in the world today. Legend has it that uniting 3 wands would be a force strong enough to resurrect the Dark Lord, plummeting the world into darkness.
All right, plummeting the world into darkness. Now that was a bogus, maybe bogus dramatization of a Will Smith film series on Netflix. Plunging the world into darkness, the Dark Lord is burned. What do you mean plunging? It's already been plunged. I woke up in the plunged world. The world has been plunged for a very long time. What are we going to plunged in darkness? Oh my God. If you just tuned in, we're just having fun here and I'm just talking to you. It's just you and me, really. It's our fireside chat. As a mystic, as a medium, my filter, and a spiritualist, I see the world and I see inside people's souls and spirits, and I read the timeline arc of their soul, and that is a true gift, and I use it with reverence and hopefully grace for the benefit of my clients. But so, you know, I have a different filter. I see things that people don't see. I hear things that people don't hear. There was a time when everybody was like, oh, that means you're crazy, but I don't know. I heard when you're talking to God, it means you have humility, and when God's talking to you, it means you're schizophrenic. Not always. Not always. You know, if you're looking for an answer, I would say just get out of that paradigm. Just go eat some ice cream, go kiss your dog, go outside and shiver in the rain. You know, that's the validation, or that's the benefit of the experience here. It's just, you know, somebody asked me once, what's the meaning, Kerber? What's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of truth? What's the meaning of existence? And I'm like, well, yeah, just go on the beach at night. Go see fog, go eat chocolate cake, apple pie, go kiss your lover, go have bad sloppy sex, you know, go have a nightmare, go have a good dream. This is just an unfoldment of all these things. And that's all it is. It's not, you know, I can't promise to say I know a higher purpose for this planet and this matrix. Dream a little dream of me. You know, I mean, I've only been here a second, so to speak. Time goes now. That's all it does. If you don't want to carry around your history, then it's a lot lighter. It's a lot easier. But so technically, you're only 1 second old because you're incarnating every second. But that's heavy-duty Bashar intergalactic stuff. But let's get to our next video. Now, a real history of magic.
History. Most people know only a couple of names, such as Harry Houdini. Magicians.
So this is really magic and
Look
magicians.
at magic as a performing art with a long and unique history. My name is Alex Romanov. I am a magician and an art historian. Today, I will tell you the complete history of magic in 10 minutes. You are watching Art of Impossible. Let's start the clock. The classic story that you will find in most books on the history of magic is that the first magic tricks were performed in ancient Egypt. This story comes from the West Cap Papyrus, an ancient document that was written in 1700 BC and that described events from earlier times. It tells about Jedi, a magician who was 110 years old and who appeared before the Pharaoh of Egypt and did some amazing things. He took a goose, severed its head, and then made the body of the goose walk towards its head and reconnect with it. Nice story, sounds indeed like a clever magic trick, but there is no historical evidence of the existence of Jedi. We know that the decapitation illusion was very popular later, but we do not have any real facts about magicians performing tricks in ancient Egypt. We have more descriptions of magic performances from later times. A 3rd century Greek writer Alciphron told about a performer who did a trick with 3 cups and 3 pebbles. and made pebbles disappear and reappear under the cups. Of course, it sounds like it was a trick that we now know as the cups and balls. So we can be sure that in the first centuries, magic entertainment already existed. Fast forward to the Middle Ages. We know that people were persecuted as witches at this time, and one can assume that it could be difficult to be a magician. In 1584, Reginald Scot published a book, The Discovery of Witchcraft. Scot was skeptical about witchcraft, and he wrote this book to debunk it. He wanted to show that witches did not have any real magical powers. To prove it, he wanted to show that one could simply imitate the supernatural phenomena. So he explained some magic tricks, like how to make a coin disappear using sleight of hand and without signing contracts with the devil. It is important to say that even though people believed in witchcraft, they could distinguish between witches and magicians who were just entertainers. If you were a magician in the Middle Ages and you openly admitted that you were performing a trick, no one would burn you. So if you performed a trick with cups and balls in the street like this guy on the famous painting of Bosch, most probably the worst thing that would happen to you would be that you just wouldn't get paid. Many magicians of the time were street entertainers, and the trick with cups and balls was indeed very popular. It was not this cool, dynamo, David Blaine kind of street magic, it was hard work for little money. But there were magicians who managed to prosper. For example, Isaac Fox earned a fortune by performing in his booth at fairs and markets where he demonstrated his sleight of hand skills. The 17th century magician William Vincent performed for James, the King of England, and his stage name was remembered forever. And you know it as well. Hocus Pocus. 18th century. Time of change. René Descartes says, "I think, therefore I am," and so begins the period of enlightenment, the time of reason and knowledge. People travel more, read more, publish more books, discover new lands and new laws of nature. Magicians who succeeded at this time were those who adapted their shows to the topic of the day and presented not just magic tricks but scientific wonders and incorporated demonstrations of magnetism and electricity in their shows. One of the most important names of the time was Pinetti, a magician who performed for all the European aristocracy and presented himself as a natural philosopher who did experiments. In the middle of the 19th century, magicians began to use the power of marketing. John Henry Anderson, aka the Wizard of the North, as he called himself, because he was from Scotland and it is in the north, became a superstar of his time. He created incredible advertising campaigns in every city, performed, as he said, for every royal family in Europe, including the Tsar of Russia. He even printed his own newspaper and built his own theater. One can only imagine what he could achieve if he had access to YouTube and Instagram. The 19th century gave us a name that most magicians in the world have heard. A French performer who is known as the father of modern magic. Please give a big round of applause for Jean-Eugène Robert Houdin. He was a watchmaker, an inventor, and a skillful magician. He performed his delightful wonders in a small theater in the center of Paris. Why is he the father of modern magic? Well, the standard story goes like this. Before Robert Houdin, magicians were street performers. They were old-fashioned, wore weird black robes and hats with stars, and used strange-looking props. After Robert Houdin, magicians started to wear elegant evening suits, became classy, started to perform magic with everyday objects, and doing shows for a sophisticated audience in a beautiful theater. This story is a big exaggeration, and it was created by Robert Houdin himself. He wrote memoirs in which he made his life, career and achievements look revolutionary and amazing. And his memoirs became very popular. This is how his legend was born. However, we have to admit that Robert Houdin was...
If you just tuned in, my name is Keegan Kerber, and I'm here as your host, Mystical Monday. And I'm a interdimensional shamanic healer, master hypnotist. And if you want your mind, body, spirit, heart, and soul to be fixed, mended, or have a soul retrieval, you just go and check out my videos and write me a letter. I love to get letters at kirktv@gmail.com. I love to get letters hearing about people's problems and journeys. And I've read more of them than I can count through the years. And if you're watching out there, I encourage you to tell me your story. And I will send you some magical healing love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. You know what? I think I'm going to look up this trailer for a Amazon Prime show that I just watched called Undone. So let's... by the way, there's like over 200 hours. Where's my channel? There's over 200 hours of videos online on YouTube and Daily Motion, all free for love, 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 and you can check all those out. But we are looking for a trailer called Undone. Undone trailer. So let's just watch this.
I'm so bored of living. I wake up every morning in the same bed, I get dressed, and I eat the same breakfast and then take the same commute to work. I'm 28 years old and I'm terrified this is all there is. Dad. Is this a dream?
Well, partly.
I know 2 weeks is a long time for me to be away.
If you're feeling weird about anything, just come talk to me and we'll figure it out.
You don't need to worry about me because I'm pretty much okay.
Pretty much.
You're fine, right?
I just feel like everyone's messing with me. You're acting even stranger than usual. You usually act even stranger than usual. But since the accident, you have been acting more even stranger than usual.
I'm seeing my dead father,
I wasn't in an accident, I was killed.
and he's training me to travel in time
With your ability, we can change what happened.
so I can save him from being murdered.
You're pushing yourself too hard.
What are they doing to me? I can't do this. I can't keep ending up places, seeing stuff and missing things.
It's all about your emotions. You need to feel them without letting them become you.
How do I do that?
Just deep breaths. Hey, baby cakes. Streams of lifetimes of suffering are carried through your mind and body. Even the good feelings. You have to let go of those too. They can't be who you are if you want to be free.
Of course. The only one in my family who believes in me is the dead one.
For now.
Okay. It just came out about a month ago. Let me see. We have 2 minutes left. Now, what can I possibly show? 12 Laws of Karma. What can I possibly show you in a minute? I don't know. This is a 10-minute video. Should I just ramble on? Like Led Zeppelin? Wherever you are, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to create a miracle. Create a miracle around you. A miracle of healing. A miracle of healing is happening to my right, to my left, above and below me, in front of me and behind me. In every dimension and reality imaginable. That's basically what this series is about, Undone. I don't want to give away spoilers, but it's, you know, she's in a bad accident and through trauma she ends up shifting time. And that's about all I'm going to say. And it's really well done. It's actually gorgeous to look at. The animation is just freaking really beautiful. And, you know, it's also a believable story. And the main character, the woman, the protagonist, is you're just very warm. You warm up to her after a couple episodes. So that's our show for tonight. Remember, there is a miracle happening in every dimension reality. in every reality imaginable. And I know I sound like a babbling idiot. It doesn't matter. You know, all you have to do is just plug back into the Force. Hey, on that thing with magic, we're going off the air now. That thing with magic, did you get that the earliest magician was Jedi or Jedi? One of the earliest all-time magicians was a Jedi. J-E-D-I. J-E-T-I? I don't know, but Jedi. So, you know, what's his face? Lucas was very plugged in to magic, light, dark side of the Force, you know, and he just updated this mystical light show that we're all living in. So, my name is Sean Keegan Kerber. I was glad to be your host tonight, and I'm wishing you infinite amounts of love in every reality imaginable, and I will just keep flooding this reality with infinite amounts of light. Light and healing and love. Light and healing and love. Light. Say the message long enough and you become the message. Shakti Namaste. Thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you next week here, Studio 4, in the Cyber Temple of Love. Shakti Namaste. And have a great week. Shakti.